If you make music, you need to listen to this story right now. Am I the asshole for not wanting to listen to my boyfriend's music? He makes the music. See, I told you already, a bunch of y'all musicians, a bunch of y'all rappers, you're gonna wanna hear what she got to say on this one. My boyfriend is a musician, used to be in a successful local band, but hasn't played out anywhere since well before we started dating. That could be a problem because she doesn't know that person. Yes, she knows of the stories of when you were active, but she doesn't know that person currently. Yeah, this could add to the troubles here. Our relationship is fine, but his music has been really getting on my nerves. For one, it's not my type, and I don't think it's that good, although I would never say this to his face. See, that's an issue. That right there could make you the asshole in this story, because what comes to follow after not saying anything about it. But the main reason it bothers me is because he's too in your face about it. Yeah, this is where it gets a little personal for me, and I'm gonna have to pay attention to this. We'll get into it later. When we're in the car, he's constantly putting on CDs he recorded of himself or playing tracks of himself from his phone. This reminds me of that one scene from Think Like a Man, you know, when Megan Good's character was talking to Romani's character, and Megan Good was like, everybody who did or does music has a CD of themselves in the car. And then he pulls out a CD of his music. By the way, is it just me, or was the song not that good in that scene? I feel like I was the only one who was waiting for something epic to play, and it just wasn't that good. That might just be me. Then when we get back to his place, he's always playing guitar and singing for hours, and he seems offended if I don't want to just sit and watch him play. Okay, so there have been countless nights where I just got done writing a song and I pull my wife into the office and I say, listen to this, let me know what you think. So this is a note for me as well. I don't feel like I do it that often though. I'm sure she's gonna watch this and correct me. I probably do it a lot more than I think I do. It wouldn't be so bad if it was every once in a while, or if it was just when he wanted to show me something. But I feel like he wants an audience, and that's really annoying. What is wrong with wanting an audience? You're the closest person to me. This is to my wife right now. You're the closest person to me that I love. I want to know what you think about. At least that's why I pull her to the side. Like, what do you think about this? Is this good? And most of the time she'll tell me, and other times she'll be like, it's not for me. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let's keep reading. Last time he put on a CD of himself, I told him I wanted to listen to something different and put on a band I liked. He told me that this hurt his feelings and he feels like I don't like his music. See, it came back up. It came back up. Let me finish. Hey, yo, since I got you here, if you have a wild story, janky promoters, studio drama, anything that made you question who was the real problem, I want to hear about it. I'm building this Am I the Asshole music story series off of real stories from people like you. The link is in the description. It's anonymous and it's safe. I don't need your name. I just need the truth. And while you're here, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the page so you don't miss the next one. All right, let's get back to the chaos. Am I the asshole for wanting to hear music I like instead of him all the time? So no, you're not the asshole, but you're framing the question a little weird right now. While you're not the asshole for that, you are an asshole for not telling your boyfriend you don't like his music from the jump, because that sets the table. If you'd have told him off rip, I don't really like your music, that would have let him know where and how to play his music in front of you. Because then it's not so much, listen to what I did, it's more so, what do you think about this? He's trying to convince you. But let me also be fair here, because him constantly playing his music around you is a problem. Now, it's a problem because you already don't like it. But if he's constantly playing his music around you, then yeah, that's annoying. That's hell of annoying. And while I think I need to check myself here, musicians, you are obsessed with your music. Unless you're dating somebody who is also an artist, who is also a musician, they don't want to hear you all the time. We want to hear ourselves all the time, and we can be a bit self-absorbed. I can see a few of y'all getting tight right now, but just accept that as a musician, as an artist, we can be a bit self-absorbed. And not everybody wants to hear or see what it is that you're working on all the time. Most of the time, like my wife says, she wants to see the final product. And half the time, as a musician, we're playing the version that's a work in progress. We haven't quite figured out all the kinks, all the transitions, all the bad notes, all the bad words. We haven't figured all that out yet. So to hear those mess ups and to hear the work in progress, while it can be appreciated when the final is done, it's seldom that a person who's not in the craft wants to hear that version. They want to hear the final product. But the point here that I really want to stress, it's not that you're an asshole for not wanting to hear his music all the time, because I agree with you on that you're not an asshole for that. What makes you an asshole and what makes this really problematic is you didn't tell him from the jump that you don't like his music or even that type of music. That has a lot of sway on how often he's going to play the music. I couldn't imagine being in a situation, being in an environment where I don't really mess with that type of music and it's constantly being bombarded into my eardrums. That has to be a different type of torture. Now, I don't know how old this Reddit post is, but I can almost guarantee that this relationship didn't last. Because if I'm with someone who doesn't like what it is that I'm passionate about, I don't see it lasting but for so long. And again, let me drive back to the point where I made earlier in the video. You didn't meet this person when they're actively doing it. You met this person, I don't know how long after, but after they were really involved in the craft. Now, when I say involved, I mean public. I don't necessarily mean, because obviously he's still active, he's still tinkering, but you met him when he's no longer that local celebrity. You know what I mean? So now it seems like a dream deferred. And quite honestly, that's probably adding to his hurt feelings because he probably feels like he's missing something and you're not helping in that sense. But all the same, y'all relationship probably didn't last. So to all the people who are in a relationship married to an ex-active musician, kid gloves, treat them with kid gloves, but also keep in mind who you with. And to the musicians who's constantly playing the music, listen, I get it. I do it all the time. I'm always bending my wife's ear, but she also told me she don't want to hear my music all the time. So I take that into consideration. Now, while I don't feel like I play it as often as I could, I'm sure she would argue to the contrast of that statement and thinks I play it all the time, which she's not wrong. But we got to do a better job at not bombarding our significant others with the music that we're passionate about. I would say, hey, I got something I'd like you to hear. Do you want to hear it right now? And then let them respond with the, yes, I can hear it right now, or not right now. Let me do it later. And it's not a slight against you. They might have had a long day. They might just be tired, or they don't want to hear you right now. And that's fair. But let me know what you think. Is Shorty an asshole for not telling dude that she don't mess with his music like that? Or is she an asshole for not wanting him to play his music all the time? I don't think she's an asshole for not wanting him to play his music all the time. I do think she's an asshole for not saying something about it though. But that's me and my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hey, hold up. Before you go, if you enjoyed this Am I the Asshole story, please make sure you click the playlist on the screen. The rest of the stories go just as hard, and some of them a little bit harder than this one. I'm trying to give you these stories weekly and possibly faster, but I need y'all to keep watching. So click the playlist on the screen and stay tapped in. And hey, if you have a wild music story, don't hold back. Go ahead and click the link in the description and submit your Am I the Asshole moment. It could be your story I break down next. Tap in with me. You know I tap back. Peace.
Everything meticulous.